What's going on, guys? It's Unknown Player here, and today in this video once again we're going to be going over some more Rise of Iron info. This is all going to be from various interviews that Deej had with different people at Gamescom. It's kind of a mix of many different topics that are all pretty interesting and that not many people know about for Rise of Iron. Some of it's good news, some of it is definitely bad, but a lot of stuff to talk about nonetheless. So the first topic is about Vault Space, and this is brought up by IGN in their interview with Deej. And they asked simply, is there going to be more Vault Space? Is there going to be an expansion with the Rise of Iron expansion? And Deej gave a pretty clear answer. He said at launch of Rise of Iron, there will not be any more Vault Space, they will not be increasing it. But after launch, they are working on a solution. This could be a couple days after launch, or it could be a couple weeks. But the interesting thing is that he didn't say there's going to be an increase in Vault Space specifically. He just said they're going to be working on a solution to the space in general. So maybe they're not even just working on increasing the vault size, but maybe they're increasing the character inventory screens as well. You can actually carry more than 9 plus the 1 equipped item. He did say the live team is working on a solution to the limited space, and they've heard our feedback loud and clear about it. This all came from, of course, a Game Informer article a couple weeks back when they said that Bungie had no plans to expand the vault space when they asked them probably about 2 months ago now. And I said at the time this is definitely a problem, and I think there does need to be a lot more vault space with all this new Rise of Iron gear. But I think Bungie just didn't really think about it at the time, and I guess that turns out to be true. But evidently Bungie is listening, and they've of course heard the feedback of loads of people requesting more vault space. But they did say once again they're working on a solution to increase storage space, and he wasn't sure exactly what format that will take. He was very clear to not just say vault space, he said storage space in general. So we're going to be getting some kind of expansion to store all our items, which is definitely good news, but of course it's not going to be at launch. So next up we have an interview from Bife, who is a good friend of mine, another Destiny YouTuber, and he also got to sit down with Deej and ask him some questions. So they were talking about the ornament system, and how some of them can be skins to change the colour of exotics, and some of them give special effects. So an example of this is the Black Hawkmoon. This one you can see right here, the black and gold version. This actually has a very special feature. It's not just the different colour, but when you shoot one of those luck in the chamber rounds, of course 3 of them, the extra damage rounds, those are actually going to let off a mini explosion. The weapon is going to fire up with this awesome animation. That's the first ornament we've heard about, which actually has a visual effect in addition to the difference in colour. So it sounds very awesome. I cannot wait to try it myself. An exploding Hawkmoon. And I'm imagining something similar to Zen Meteor, the way the weapon sets on fire every time you get those 3 shots in a row. And it's also pretty helpful to have a visual cue of when you've activated a luck in the chamber round as well. So really cool effect with the ornaments. So Bife also asked about Nightfalls and if they've been changed in any way with Rise of Iron. Unfortunately, the answer is no, and there hasn't been any change at all. I think Nightfalls definitely have gone a little bit downhill since the launch of Destiny. They were very cool in year 1, and I pretty much do them every single week. I'd hop on and do my 3, and with friends, we'd always get the Nightfalls done first thing on the Tuesday. But I haven't really done any in the Taken King. They just don't really seem that worth it. The best thing I get out of them, honestly, is the reputation. You get a massive chunk of Vanguard rep, but the rewards just don't seem up to par. They are a lot easier, but they just don't really seem that great. The modifiers tend to be making them very boring as opposed to fun like the burns used to be. They went from, in my opinion, one of the most core essentials of Destiny's endgame, something you had to do every single Tuesday, to an activity that's pretty time consuming and doesn't really reward anything better than a 330 Vanguard Ghost Shell. I think the buff that you used to get as well was also a big part of it, but Nightfalls, I think they definitely need a bit of work. I'm sure Bungie will tweak them slightly at some point in the future, but unfortunately Rise of Iron is not that time. So the next interview is from another good friend of mine called Oki, who is also a YouTuber, and he got to sit down with Deej at Gamescom again and talk about Rise of Iron. And Oki asked some really good questions, and Deej gave some really great responses. So Deej confirmed there will be some new swords in Rise of Iron, which we had never heard about before. So new swords are confirmed, but he joked about how they will pale in comparison to the giant flaming battle axe, which of course is the main star of the show. It does sound like there won't be any new exotic swords, probably some new legendary ones. I think something that could be likely in terms of a sword could be the Blade of Radagast, which of course is a sword belonging to one of the Iron Lords. It definitely makes sense thematically, so hopefully we can see an Iron Lord related sword as a weapon. And if you're wondering what it might look like, we do have an artifact in game, a rare one called Radagast Blade, which is the tip of that very sword. So this may become a full weapon we get to use in game, but I think that'll be really awesome. Now, I did notice in one of the cutscenes there was a sculpture of the Iron Lords, a kind of like wall carving, and some of them do have swords on their back, which is a new model we've never seen before. So maybe this is the one we actually get to earn in-game, one of the new swords we're getting. I think it'd be really cool if they fleshed out the sword category as well, and they had like raid swords and trial swords and Iron Banner ones as well. It's probably unlikely, I'd expect a few legendary ones, but nonetheless, it's definitely good news we're getting some brand new swords. So the next thing that Deej clarified is that we're only going to get 1 Radiant Treasure per week, which in my opinion is kind of bad news. I mean, in the April update, we got 3 Sterling Treasures per week from the 41 Prison, from the Weekly Crucible, and also just 1 at the Postmaster. As it turns out, we're only going to get 1 Radiant Treasure per week, which will be earned from the weekly strike playlist, and that is where you get exotic ornaments. So we're going to want a ton of those, and unfortunately, if you want more of those, the only way to do it is buying it from Eververse. So if you want more Radiant Treasures and you want more of the ornaments for exotics, you have to buy a load of them. You can only earn one per week, which is definitely bad news. You can see in the screenshot, this is the weekly heroic playlist where you earn them from. So next up, Oki also asked a very good question about the backspace in the tower where the Iron Banner is normally run from and some of the events. And he asked, now that Saladin and the Iron Banner is going to be straight from Fail to Peak, what is going to be happening with that space and is going to be any use for it? So Deej responded by saying we've opened up that area in the tower for other events. It wasn't exactly clear whether it will be permanently open, but it would be a shame to see it closed for months at a time. It's such a nice place and probably one of my favourite areas in the tower, so I'm hoping it isn't closed all the time, but it sounds like it will be from that response, but I'm thinking it will only open for other events he mentioned. So he suggested there might be other events after Rise Vine that will use this space. We already know that SRL and Festival of the Lost have been confirmed returning this year, but neither of those events use that space, so I'm wondering if he's talking about some other event that's going to surprise us, or whether there's another event entirely that's going to be a surprise, which is going to take place in that back area of the tower. So maybe he's talking about a different surprise event, or maybe SRL and Festival of the Lost will actually use that back tower area. So that is all the info I've collected from the various interviews at Gamescom. Of course, all three of them will be linked in the description for you guys to watch the full thing, and they're all amazing interviews which give some really detailed responses. So make sure you check them out in the description. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, a like rating would be much appreciated. And of course, I've got a bunch more Rise of Iron videos on the way, so stay tuned. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.